Okay, so the understanding collocation, obviously, a collocation is a group of words commonly found together, and then you know, obviously, the meaning of ये आपने पढ़े होंगे phrases and clauses, right? The phrases are like a set of words which give meaning but not complete meaning, and clause is a set of words which give complete meaning. It's like a simple small sentence as well. So in when you're reading paragraphs, when you're reading things, so you can see that there are like certain collocations. Right? Just for example, in this very simple sentence, in the past, even in the past, like it is not one three words, like these are three words, but they're like one simple unit or collocation. Right? Because if we see individually, तो maybe जो individual word है उसका कोई meaning नहीं हो, but when they are like together, so they make sense. So when you learn a new word, also learn its collocations. When you see a new word, also see that what are the adjacent words, उसके इर्द गिर्द के words क्या हैं और इसकी collocation क्या है, अगर कोई है वहां पर. तो in this way it will be very much important for you to keep things in your mind. ये एक तरीका है, एक ये strategy है. Obviously it's an old tested strategy. Like this is like one way to understand things. It's one way to keep things in your mind, and it's one way to retain words in your memory, because obviously we read so many words and then we forget it. So easiest way is to associate a word or rather a difficult word with some easy word or in some phrase so that you can keep in your mind. So it's a very interesting strategy. So when you learn a new word, also learn its collocation. In time you will find that many words have more than one collocation, like there are like more than one collocation if you see. And then as you read, begin to notice collocation of both new words and words that you already know. If you think that a group of words is a collocation, mark it in pencil, ask your teacher or check a collocation dictionary to find out if it is one. So as you read, if you are sure that a group of word is a collocation, underline it. These are like kind of things. So we are skipping this task. I would say that you must read it at home. And then we are coming to this important thing, making inferences. This is important point because inferences is also called as reading between the lines, or to understand like what could be the possible meaning of a text. आप कोई चीज पढ़ रहे हैं तो उसका क्या possible meanings हो सकते हैं, ये हम इन्फ्रेंसेस की बात करते हैं. इसको अगर आप सिंपल समझना चाहें तो वी कैन, जिसको हम उर्दू में अखज़ करना कहते हैं. लेकिन आप याद करें इन योर स्कूल टाइम, आप जब पढ़ते थे तो उसमें हम इससे क्या चीज, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप हम जैसे वो स्टोरीज होती थी सिंपल वाली जो हम स्कूल में पढ़ते थे, वंस अपॉन अ टाइम देयर वाज अ थर्स्टी क्रो एंड लाइक दिस एंड ऑल द स्टोरी. एंड आफ्टर दैट फिर वो उसमें हमें टीचर हमारे बताते थे कि इससे हम क्या नतीजा अखज़ करते हैं या क्या हम इसमें से नतीजा निकालते हैं. तो नतीजा फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम ये निकालते थे कि God helps those who help themselves, or necessity is the mother of invention. So these are like kind of thing that we have inferred this thing from that story. Right? Now that story is like a discourse. It's like a narrative. ये एक कहानी है, उसमें एक गवाह है, and then you know the story, all of you. And then we infer, we like deduce, we infer that कि तो ये जो इसको inference कहते हैं, inferencing भी कहते हैं. And this is what you see. For example, you read, but it is also full of old superstitions, right? So here, for example, you can now draw meaning, right? And then, for example, you infer that author does not think every aspect of feng shui is useful. So different meaning हम उसमें से निकाल सकते हैं. उसके बाद next जो आपकी बात है, uh, understanding italics. So sometime it happens that कि in the आपकी जो टेक्स्ट को आप पढ़ रहे हैं तो उसमें इटैलिसाइज किया जाता है, एक नॉर्मल है. राइटर्स यूज इटैलिक्स फॉर सेवरल रीजन इंक्लूडिंग emphasis or stress of an important word. किसी word को उसकी important करने के लिए उसको किया जाता है. The title of a book, newspaper or magazine. रिसर्च में जब हम रिसर्च की कोई चीज़ पढ़ रहे होते हैं, कोई हम आर्टिकल पढ़ रहे हैं, कोई थीसिस हम पढ़ रहे हैं, तो उसमें जब भी बुक का नाम आप लिखते हैं तो उसको इटैलिसाइज करते हैं. A foreign word or phrase in an English sentence to mean the word or the expression. तो ये यानी कि italics क्यों यूज किए जाते हैं, आप italics को थोड़ा सा अंडरस्टैंड करके भी टेक्स्ट को अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हैं. Then using a graphic organizer to show cause and effect. So this is obviously very much important kind of thing, because when you're reading critically, when you're critically reading something, तो for एक कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट है उसको क्रिटिकल होने के लिए ये जरूरी है कि उसमें कॉजल रिलेशनशिप्स हों, कॉज और इफेक्ट, जैसे आप इस बात को समझते होंगे कि देयर आर कॉजेज एंड देन देयर आर इफेक्ट्स, इफेक्ट्स लीड टू कॉजेज, कॉजेज लीड टू इफेक्ट्स, राइट। तो ये एक चेन है। फिलोसफी का पहला जो लेसन होता है वो यही होता है कि फॉर एग्जांपल ये जो हमारी एग्जिस्टेंस है, ये जो हमारी वर्ल्ड है, ये कॉज है या इफेक्ट है इन द वर्ल्ड इन विच वी लिव। जब ये बनी तो वाज इट द रिजल्ट ऑफ समथिंग, ये किसी चीज की कॉज थी या किसी चीज की इफेक्ट थी, राइट। एंड देन इट गोज ऑन। तो ये हो सकते हैं कि जो ग्राफ्स वगैरह समटाइम बनाए जाते हैं, दोज ग्राफ्स कैन हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड थिंग्स. You put information into a graphic organizer, you can use the organizer to clearly depict information. And then there is graphic organizers, you see the relationships or connections among different ideas. वो कहते हैं ना, a picture is worth 1,000 words, ऐसी आपने शायद बात कभी सुनी होगी. A picture is worth 1,000 words, because you can talk about a picture. When you see a picture, you can obviously talk about like 1,000 words about that picture. Similarly, these graphs or these kind of thing, they help you to uh, understand certain ideas in a visual manner. So when you organize information from reading in graphic organizers, you can then use them to review and study for exams. There are different types of graphic organizers, and you work with many of them in this book as well. So one type of graphic organizer depicts a chain of causes and effects. In other words, one situation leads to another situation, and one is the cause and the other is the effect, which in turn become the cause of another effect, as I just told, that this is like a kind of chain kind of thing, and it continue building up, right? So there is now this task as well, right? So we are again skipping that. I don't want to see. So this is like your, oh, we will skip that. So come to this page. Outlining main ideas. You can read that, because obviously these are like not that much important kind of tasks. They are not related to. I will give you some other tasks, but presently we just want to know the theory of the things. Now the other thing, obviously, from this topic, outlining main ideas, important details and examples. So these are again important things while you are reading something. So it is very much important to outline main ideas, to highlight or just to important details and examples. So in a reading passage, okay, I want someone of you to read this, right? कौन पढ़ेगा, किसको हम कहें? Yes, anyone voluntarily? आप में से खुद से कोई पढ़ना चाहे? I want a reader. Are you listening me, guys? Students?
Yes, sir.
तो आप में से कोई पढ़े इसे? कौन पढ़ेगा? Come up.
Junaid sir.
Okay, Junaid. Yes, thank you, Junaid. पढ़ें इसे. In reading passage.
In a reading passage or chapter in a textbook, there are ideas of different level of importance.
Good, very good.
The main idea or an umbrella that covers the whole reading.
Umbrella is like
usually
the word of umbrella is used for symbolic meaning, right? It's like as umbrella provides you like an overall cover. So main idea is like an umbrella, and then there are like some certain small ideas over there. So main idea can usually be found in the introductory paragraph. So it's a very easy trick. Yes.
However, there are almost always a number of other main ideas about the subtopics.
Very good.
Frequently, but not always, you can find a main idea in the first sentence of a section of the reading.
So this is obviously a very easy trick. Then when you want to know the main idea of something, so it is the start of the paragraph or like in the first or two lines, right? So you can get the main idea. Okay, after.
सर नेक्स्ट पेज शो नहीं हो रहा.
आगे होगा, देखिए. After the
After the
topics.
topic sentence
जी जी.
sentence of the each paragraph, usually the first, there is usually an important detail that supports the main idea of that
That
section.
section.
Also, there are often examples which are very specific details. They support the important details.
Yes. So main idea of the whole
Example.
reading, then main idea of the section one, then there would be important detail, then there would be example, then important detail, and then this is like a kind of a sketch. Outlining the main ideas, important ideas, and examples in a reading is one way to make sure you understand its organization. All right, thank you, Junaid. And then there is a task. Read the passage below about symbolic system and meanings without using a dictionary. As you read, underline the main ideas, important details, and examples. Also, think about this question: how do symbols represent various areas of everyday life? Right. So, okay. Yes, I want some other reader, right? ताकि आपकी भी participation रहे इसमें. So who will read the symbolic systems and meanings? कौन पढ़ेगा? Please come up.
Adil sir.
Yes, Adil, come on. Thank you very much. पढ़ें. A symbol. What is a symbol? Adil, can you?
Symbolic system and meanings.
Go on.
A symbol in general is a sign or object that represents meanings and
Adil, आपकी आवाज थोड़ी सी
symbols
echo कर
operate
रही है.
as if they were two-sided
Adil,
coins.
stop here, stop here.
On one side are the
Adil,
characteristics,
जाओ.
and on the other side
Stop.
are the meanings, or what the symbols stand for.
Adil नहीं रुक रहा. Adil को हम इधर से जरा.
काका रोको पो.
अब्दुल भाई आपकी आवाज ठीक नहीं आ रही.
तुम्हारी आवाज एको कर रही है. आई वांट कोई और पढ़े. आपका शायद वहां पर कुछ नेटवर्क का इशू. यस, कोई और पढ़े.
सर यस.
कौन
सर
पढ़
मैं
रहा है? जी जी, मैं कौन है?
हुमा.
जी हुमा पढ़े.
हुमा.
जी जी पढ़े पढ़े.
A symbol in general is a sign or object that represents something else.
Okay.
All symbols operate as if they were two-sided coins.
Coins.
On one side are the physical
जी जी.
the physical characteristics, and on the other side are the meanings or what the symbols stand for.
Symbols stand for. This is wait, मैं जरा इसको explain कर दूं. तो obviously you see that the symbol at one point, symbol is just one like face of something, a word, and then there are concepts. For instance, we see, for example, moon एक word है. तो moon is obviously a word, and then it could be symbolic meaning as well. इसकी symbolic meaning है, right? तो ये इसको कहा जाता है. Yes. तो सिंबल की डेफिनेशन यही होगी. डेफिनेशन आपने तैयार करनी है. A sign or object that represents something else. All right. Okay. Metaphor. Next. Yes. Yes, Huma. Continue करें.
Metaphor, a kind of symbol, is an important analytical concept used by anthropologists in the study of symbolic systems. A metaphor is an idea that people use to stand for another set of ideas. Games are often used as a metaphor
for life. So metaphor, obviously, it's obviously a kind of symbol, an extended symbol. Anthropologist कहते हैं जो human को study करते हैं, क्योंकि anthrop या anther human को कहा जाता है, and study of human being is called as anthropology. So anthropologist metaphor को बहुत ज़्यादा, क्योंकि चीज़ें जो है metaphor क्या होता है कि when you like एक आप कोई एक direct kind of attachment आप दिखाते हैं, right? It's an idea. जैसे for example games are situated with life. There are two words, metaphor and similes. Simile is like when something resemble. For example, we say that it is like this thing. And then in metaphor, we say like a kind of direct kind of quality. For example, if we want to say that someone is brave, so we can say that he is lying. Now, this is what which would be example of metaphor. Yes.
Games involve struggle and competition. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. but games must be played according to set of rules. Games demand for the players intelligence, stamina, and courage.
Correct. For example, even in this short paragraph, right, you could see that let's say the word जो game है इसको अगर हम life से relate करें symbolic level पर तो देखिए ना in life में भी आपको struggle और competition का सामना करना पड़ता है as in game. Life may be sometimes you will win and obviously sometimes you will lose as well, but life must be played according to certain rules. आपकी life चलती रहती है. इसी तरीके से games demand from the player intelligence, stamina and courage, right? तो इस तरीके से life में भी आपको intelligence की जरूरत होती है and stamina की जरूरत होती है, courage की जरूरत होती है क्योंकि otherwise you won't be able to do things. Yes, next paragraph. Go on, continue.
Politicians often accuse their rivals of playing
They're
hardball.
rivals. They're
In this
rivals.
case,
Huma, this word is rivals. Politicians
rivals.
often accuse their rivals of playing hardball. Yes.
Yes. In this case, baseball is being used to stand for something else. Politics, because both include competition, struggle, and some elements of danger. Through they may
Though differ
they may differ in many other
respects.
they may differ in many other respects.
Yes, exactly. So playing hardball, it means कि when you have put a challenge to someone, आपने किसी को कुछ challenge put किया है और वो challenge जो है वो बर्दाश्त नहीं कर रहा, तो it's like considered as playing hardball. ये एक टेक्निक है बेसबॉल में जब कोई एक बेसबॉल जब थ्रो की जाती है हिट करने के लिए तो उसमें जो चीज आप नहीं खेल सकें तो उसको हार्ड बॉल कहा जाता है तो इसलिए ये इस तरह से है. Okay. So this is metaphor, symbol, and now there another type of symbol is metonym, right? जी पढ़ें इसको हम continue करें.
Another type of symbol is metonym. Like a metaphor,
Okay, a metonym. Like a
metaphor. A metonym is based on substitutions of one thing for another. But in this case, the symbol standing for something else is one of the several things that constitute the something else.
Something else. Yes. Okay. Thus the monarch can be referred to as the head of state, and the crown or throne can stand as a symbol for the monarchy. The capital of any type of government can be referred to as the seat of the government. In each case, a part has been taken and used to stand as a symbol for a more complex whole. तो ये metaphor और metonymy ये दो word हम use करते हैं. तो metaphor में तो for example आप किसी को कोई direct quality दे रहे हैं, right? For example, he is lion or he is like any word you can use. But in a metaphor, a metonym is based on a substitution of one thing for another. Just say, for example, we have a capital and its name is Islamabad, right? So we can use, for example, for Islamabad, we can see the chair of prime minister, right? Or government, we can say like Islamabad is government, right? So this is like example of metonymy and metaphor. For example, there is like the monarch can be referred to as the head of the state and the crown or throne can stand as a symbol for the monarchy. So we can say that, for example, crown wishes this, right? For example, crown wishes this, that people should be doing these kind of things. So now you have used this word crown for the king, for the whole kind of thing. So these are some certain things. So this is here. In each case, a part has been taken and the capital of any type of government can be referred to as the seat of the government. In each case, a part has been taken and used to stand as a symbol for a more complex whole. Okay, that's enough for today, right? You'll be writing the definitions. I have focused on these things that you should be like knowing certain basic concept like metonymy, metaphor, symbols, inference, all what we have read. It is like expected कि आप इनकी definitions लिखेंगे, right? और थोड़ा सा writing पे मैंने आपको homework भी देना start किया हुआ है, तो उसको लिखकर आप अपने groups में जो आपके बने हैं वहाँ पर आप मुझे उसकी पिक्चर भेज सकते हैं so that I might be knowing कि आप लोग काम कर रहे हैं, ऐसे मुफ्त की नहीं खा रहे हैं, right? So you should be like doing this homework and you'll be writing the definitions of these concepts. It's your today's homework. You can submit me till tomorrow, right? Anything you want to ask from here, you can ask. Okay.